old school guys, they always like, women are kryptonite.
The king came down and gave me like the sword.
They always criticize the new generation of bodybuilders, saying the posing is not there.
I'm like super extroverted and in front of the camera.
You have a girlfriend, right? Is it difficult to be a pro athlete like yourself and be in a relationship? Because I hear like the old school guys, they always like, women are kryptonite, you gotta dedicate your life to this.
Brother, it's kind of true, but the first thing I love her because she's not in this whole sport, you know. She supports everything what I'm doing, but she's not an athlete, and I don't know where. Maybe you can explain it to me, but I don't know from where it comes. But every time I go out and I tell, okay, I'm a professional bodybuilder, everybody asks her like, and you also go on stage, right? And she's like, no, but I can we can pick that argument like every Formula One driver, the wife or like the girlfriend is not automatically also driving a Formula One car, you know.
That's true, man.
So she's super supportive and she's like my background. I'm like super extroverted and in front of the camera and doing all that stuff. And she's like in the office working for a brand. She's also my manager and yeah, make sure
Nice.
the money comes into the bank. So that's pretty cool.
Now you and obviously in the classic division, right, which is about classic beauty, posing.
Yeah.
What's going on with I keep hearing again the old school guys, you know what I mean? They always criticize the new generation of bodybuilders, saying the posing is not there. In our day, you know what I mean? Posing was superior. Like, what do you think about this criticism? Like, I mean, you guys pose, obviously. Everybody poses, practice posing. Do you agree with that when they say old school posing was better?
Yeah, I kind of agree with it because we all know like the best moment for me after I won my second best posing award at the Arnold's this year, Lila Brada came to me and said like you're a phenomenal poser, and that was like, you know, the king came down and gave me like the sword. But it's absolutely true. I see all those competitors, they pose like to say it out loud now.
People are gonna hate you for saying that.
No, it's they can hate me, but at the end of the day, it's the truth. We look at those. I mean, we have some outliers. We have a Samson Dauda. He did like a phenomenal posing, very beautiful, very aesthetic. He creates his own style, you know. And I heard like rumors. Lila Brada also took like he learned from a Shaolin monk, and then did his choreographies in Sami Banu. And I worked together with my mom to put like because she's a ballerina and also those small nuances on stage, you know, how you put your fingers and that gives you more flow and aesthetic. And it's super sad that the posing isn't like rewarded so much, especially in classic physique, where posing is super important in my eyes. But I still love it and I still treat it like it's gonna be pointed because everybody who watched the show remembers the posing you did, you
Right.
know, because to be honest, in 4 years, nobody knows, okay, who was like, you need to think really, we also like as bodybuilding lovers, you know, we need to think about 2007, who was like seventh place at the Olympia. You don't know it, you know, it's true, but I mean, we all know the Kai Green, Dirty Diana posings and Sami Banu in 1983 in Munich, the phenomenal posings they did and created. Or also Cedric McMillan, rest in peace, with the, you know, remember it with the
Yeah.
band on, shake like Arnold said. That was, I mean, that's really what matters, you know, and the impact you also, like I said before, you have like your own character. And I don't want to step on stage, hit like the most muscular, lift my tongue out and go from left side to the right side. And that's my posing. That's like bullshit. Sorry to say it loud, but
Wow.
that's true.
Agree with that. You agree with the criticism.
I mean, I'm from Germany.
So I want to ask you something, and that's something. It's an ongoing conversation um, that actually we talked about it with Victor Martinez. You know, like how do you make money as a modern day bodybuilder, right? Obviously, which is exactly what you are, right? You are
Mhm.
currently one of the top guys, and you can give that advice to the younger generation, right? Is social media really the only way that you have to focus on it really to make generate income? Would you agree with that? And what kind of advice would you give to younger generation of bodybuilders to make income?
So the first advice, don't start because you want to make an income out of it, because those 12 years I didn't earn a one single cent, one single dollar, are 13 years or 12 years, which are super long, and your family is not gonna be happy with it. I dropped out of school when I was young and put all my cards into all my eggs in one basket to achieve this dream. And um, I always would recommend like get a job first and then start your bodybuilding career or your dream. I worked in a shift for until I was until I was professional 2019. The prep I did in Switzerland, I moved there. I worked like day and night, did my cardio at night, and then I finally got the pro card. And then I got my first sponsor contract and all the stuff, social media, I did also by myself. I started to cut my own videos. I mean, 6 hours a day, and that was just a hustle, you know. And when you don't really love it, so when you don't start with it as a passion, forget about it. I often get the question right now, hey, I saw reels are like very good to get the algorithm going and like get more followers and blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, you need to give the people a reason to follow you, you know. So be your own personality. And it's also Sam Sulek, super cool guy. He's like just going to the gym, taking his camera, films himself, and talks about his passion, you know. And now you see all those guys try to copy him, flip the mics on the head, and try to be like him. And I'm like, wow, you can't like copy someone because the copy isn't gonna be as good as the original, you know. So try to find like your niche. If you like to be a coach, you know, if you like to be like, I mean, it can be every dumb which has to do with bodybuilding. If you love the tanning from tanning athletes, you can make the biggest business in the life. I mean, we also saw it with my cookie dealer, with Juan Morel. He just loved cookies and started a business with his wife. And I mean, there are so many ways to make money. It's not needs to be social media. I loved it because my big dream is one day to be a actor, you know, and shift my way from bodybuilding into acting, because that's like something which suits me also very good, because I love the camera, you know, I love to be with people and yeah, try that thing. And but if you're a shy guy, don't want to step on stage, I mean, you're half naked and go out of the stage. You need to have something, and you need to find out what's like your strength. And you had like the big vision, you know, to create those movies together. And I mean, I can tell you now, I want to create a movie, but I don't have like a red line in my head how it's gonna look and um, be like be
Sure.
like that. The movie's gonna end up looking like shit, you know. So yeah, find your own strength and be your own. That's like the, the biggest tip you can get.
Do you have a top five bodybuilders of all time? Who would be in your top five? Do you have a list like that or no?
Body wise, Flex Wheeler, mindset of a Dorian Yates, um, posing of a Lila Brada, and like the attitude and lightness of like needs to be a black guy. They're always super chilled and super cool. Chris Cormier, maybe. He always looked like he just don't give a fuck, but that's like the perfect athlete, I would say. Yeah, when I think about it.
One more.
Yeah, one more. Of course, yeah, Phil Heath.
Wow, nice.
Yeah,
He's great.
yeah.
And it's unfortunate a lot of people don't put him in there in that top five for whatever reason. But physique wise, I think he was one of the top. You know, in my opinion. You know,
Yeah, I
but
want to mix it up a little bit because I also couldn't replace him with a Lee Haney, but I don't want to be just in those old school days. I think we also have great champions, and there are also always the talks are nowadays the open guys couldn't stay next to the old school guys, and
I keep
I
hearing
think, yeah, and I think they would smoke them.
the new
I
guy.
mean, the new guys. Imagine Phil Heath next to those guys back then would be a nightmare for all of them. So, yeah, I think and it's also not like comparable really because I don't know when Flex Wheeler got second place or won the Arnolds, he was like 105 kilograms or something,
Mhm.
and that's like classic physique weight. He had an open class, but
Sure.
it definitely looked great and looked aesthetic, and I loved it. But those guys nowadays, they bring like 300 pounds on stage,
Crazy.
which not, which also, yeah, crazy. It's maybe not the best, but it's a new standard.
Urs, thank you so much for this interview, man. I'm a big fan of yours. It's great to finally meet you.
Yeah, man, it's
Thanks
cool.
so much, man.
Nice.
Thank you so much, brother. Great meeting you, man.
Cool. Yeah, see you in Vegas. Okay.
Thank you.
Keep it up. Bye bye, lad. Ciao.